Alright guys, welcome back to Jaeger Racing, and today we get to explore the Mustang's innards by doing a new clutch. Of course, we're going to pick up an ACT clutch. We're actually going to do a twin disc, because why not go to the best and the brightest to get you the best clutch possible. And just so you know, we're at Eastside Muffler, where Joe, the guy who actually got me into road racing, is going to help me do this installation, because I am way too lazy to sit on my fucking back and do it off the floor. So again, Eastside Muffler, this is Joe. He just works hard, does his thing. That's all he's ever done, you know. And so we're gonna come in here, we're gonna change the clutch, give you guys a little bit, and he's lighting things on fire already, so this is amazing. Things are going great. So if you know anything about anything, you know there's a transmission there, there's a clutch in there, flywheel in there, and we're going to be replacing all of that. We're going to take off this catalytic converter here, exhaust pipe here, so that we can drop the transmission down. We'll take off this mount here and have to disconnect our sweet QA1 drive shaft. That will be monstrously useful in getting everything out. Joe said he can do this in like an hour or two, so no big worry there. It'll be quick and easy. So, all right, let's get to it. All right, so we got into this part where we have to take half of the center console off, take off a couple little pluggy guys. Now you have the original OEM shifter here, and Joe's coming in to cut some crap, and from there, then we'll be able to hopefully get rid of the shifter to make it a little bit easier to slide it back. So one of the things that a lot of people complain about is the shifter right here, which is connected to the transmission instead of, I guess, alternatively connected to the body, and there's some shifters that actually can connect to the body versus the transmission. I don't know. It's all the same. We'll see how the new short shifter turns out from MGW. All right, so transmission is now out. As you can tell here, OEM clutch right here, looking a little sadder. Pressure plate, clutch inside, clutch inside. So yeah, exactly what we thought happened. Basically, clutch decided it had enough and wanted to stop playing. So that is what it did. And now we move to this. All the things are falling off. So Joe, this is how it's supposed to be, right? There's not supposed to be any friction material.
Yep. That's hardcore race, metal to metal. Wow.
So that's probably why we didn't have very much drive. It does say FOMOCO. So Joe's cleaning out all the remnants of the organic clutch material and all the other things that are still left in the transmission bell housing. We're gonna put on a brand new Ford unit here. What is this called, Joe?
Throttle bearing?
Throwout bearing? Yeah, okay. Hydraulic throwout bearing, which is really cool. As it's all OEM obviously, but I just find this a very interesting piece in comparison to like Subarus and how fun those are. This is actually really nice and pretty awesome. Cleaning this puppy out, and then we'll be able to start installing some things. Now Joe is pulling out the pilot bearing, the OEM 80,000 miles of death one, and we'll put in the brand new ACT unit, because why not? So after a little bit of time, we now have our drive shaft back in, our new shifter up here in. You'll see a little bit more of that later. Transmission is back in, ACT clutch is in. Everything is looking good. Obviously we had a little bit of a issue with our stud that comes out of that. Goes through here, stripped out, so Joe's having to press that out, and then we're just gonna use a nut and bolt because that's the easy way to do it and how it should be done. And other than that, we're almost done here. So after that, we just get to go back upstairs and do the rest of the shifter stuff, and then we'll be good to go. All right, so this is the MGW short shifter. I ended up picking this because everybody on every track, everything, every forum, every Facebook group, all said this is the best shifter on the market. So that's why I got it. We'll see. We'll see if I like it. Hopefully the answer is yes. Because if I don't like it, well then I'm gonna have to blame a bunch of track Mustang bros for giving me advice on a terrible piece of crap. But they do make gun parts, which is also very interesting. That's how they kind of got their start. And then they decided to start making shifters because, well, why not make a shifter? You already have all the machines to do things. And so my hopes are high. Impressions, it's a little tight. I hope it loosens up a little bit because otherwise I'm gonna say it's kind of loosening up already. Alright guys, we just got done with the clutch in the Mustang. Again, we installed the ACT Street Twin Disc, and actually just a quick little, couple pumps on the pedal, and it doesn't feel like it's any appreciable different than the stock clutch, which is actually quite awesome. Joe kind of gave me that insight prior, as he's done a few of these before, obviously at his shop, Eastside Muffler, which I am very grateful that he let me come to his shop and utilize a lift and do all the heavy lifting in doing the job. So just kind of give you guys a little bit of background check here. So this is a shop that I first visited back in the early 2000s, maybe even 2001. And this is kind of a shop that actually got me into road racing, got me into modifying cars of any kind. Joe himself actually is an old-time Redline Time Attack Super Lap battle guy with, what'd you run back there?
Had a Honda Civic back then. Yeah.
So Honda Civic, he eventually ended up in an Evo, which is very interesting since I ended up in an SDI. But yeah, Joe used to be in that time attack circuit doing those things, having a good time. And I essentially looked at Joe, saw what he was doing, thought it was really cool, decided to try it out for myself, and look where it got me. I don't know if that's good or bad when I say it that way, but it's either which. But overall, Joe was able to help me out, get me squared away, and now I get to leave Eastside in a driving car and get back home. Thanks, guys, and thank you, Joe. Very much appreciated. Any last words for us, Joe?
No.
Have fun. All right, guys, have a good one.